Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. West Ham are sort of turning it around. We've picked up a point against Newcastle, a really tough game. Me and Paul are going to discuss that. We're going to discuss what we think of the back end of the transfer window. Also, we've got Goat of the Week at the end of the show and loads more. Let's get started.
Hello.
All unmuted. Was I muted the whole time then? No, I wasn't. I was just muted for the beginning video. Yeah, mate. It's been a while since we got a show on, and I know you've been really, just not wanting to talk about West Ham recently. And I think most people are the same, mate. I think, recently I've not been looking forward to watching the games. And like every game just seems like such a struggle to watch. And, especially when we went 1-0 down early yesterday. Yeah. So what do you think then, mate? Are we turning the corner?
Not yet. No, not yet. But listen, let's be positive. Promising signs. I mean, I didn't expect anything at all from yesterday's game. After conceding 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, luckily one of them was ruled out. I definitely didn't expect anything. So no, I didn't expect anything from the game. Newcastle have only lost 1 game all season. A draw is a fantastic
goal, mate. They conceded the goal in like 10 games in the league as well. So to actually score up there, is credit to us as well, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a fantastic result. The draw is a fantastic result. It really is, and it gives us something to build on. I don't mind this formation, the way we're playing.
I was going to say that, yeah. What do you think of the formation? I like the formation.
Yeah, I quite like it as well. I think the problem is, I think Emerson is fantastic on the left-hand side in that wing-back role, especially with Aguerd just behind him.
He's got pace as well. He's got a bit of pace. He wants to go, he wants to go forward.
The problem is he's very unbalanced. We don't have anyone to do the same thing on the right-hand side. Soufal's a brilliant right-back. I don't think he's a good right wing-back.
We can't cross.
I think if we'd have... Again, we can talk about the lack of business in the January window, but if we'd have got a mirror to Emerson to play on that right-hand side, an actual proper right wing-back, yeah, I like the formation. Obviously, Paqueta now playing in the middle with Rice. That's where he should be playing. No issues at all with the formation. No issues at all with the lineup either. I was happy with the lineup. Again, the only problem we've got, and again, talking about the January window, especially seeing as we let Dawson go, we've only got a handful of centre-backs. Kerr's injured again now.
Oh, is it?
So, yeah, that's why he went off yesterday at half-time. He was pulled off because he was injured.
And the worry with that then is he's probably, if Zuma's not fit, he's going to throw Cresswell in at left centre-back, isn't he?
It's going to be, so you're going to have literally Aguerd and Ogbonna, and then he's going to have to play either Cresswell or Johnson as that third centre back.
All left footed.
Johnson's not. If Johnson plays, he'll probably.
Yeah, you could play Johnson now, I suppose. Yeah, you could play Johnson.
I mean, Johnson came in at half time, and I think he did quite well yesterday. But again, if he wanted to play 3 or 5 at the back,
they should have gone and bought a centre back.
We should have gone and bought a centre back. But again, keeping it positive, really good result. Really good result.
Good to see Paqueta score as well.
Great to see Paqueta score. I think again, after conceding 2 goals so early, I'd say luckily one of them disallowed, everyone's fearing for the worst. I think we responded really well. We responded really well to going behind. We really got on top. And then obviously we got the equaliser. But my only criticism, and this is why I'm not willing to say, yeah, we've turned a corner yet, is we scored from a corner and then we did nothing. I was saying to you yesterday, I can't think of a single chance we created in the second half.
No, we were quite wasteful in possession.
I don't think we just... I think the second half we created absolutely nothing at all. And then I think after the first sort of 5-10 minutes of the second half, we decided, right, we're just going to hang on to the draw. Which, like I say, a draw, a point against Newcastle, fine. But they were there for and I know this how many times we've said this season, but they were there for the taking. I think if we'd have carried on the way we finished the first half, we might have got even more from the game, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We sat back.
They did play well, though. They played well. I thought when Gordon come on, he was causing trouble.
Yeah.
Joe Linton kept getting the ball and was driving in that midfield. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think Dex did really well yesterday. You know, sort of, I think he's actually something in his head's gone now. Like, well, actually, I have got to get West Ham out of this. Like, it's all good and well, I'm going at the end of the season, but it doesn't look good on my CV. You know, if I take West Ham down.
Yeah, I think I think with this formation, he's either been told or he's finally listening that he is actually sitting. He is sitting. A lot of the times he was dropping back into the defence yesterday rather than trying to be the next Steven Gerrard. You know, he seems to have thought, right, okay, I need to be this.
Well, for the greater good of West Ham, he needs to play that role. He needs
and that's where he's better anyway. That's where he's that's where he's better anyway. So, you know, overall, really positive performance. But I'm not going to say we've turned the corner yet. I'm not.
Yeah. Before we move on to other results and how it's affected, I think, you know, we haven't even mentioned him yet, mate, and you didn't even mention the tackle. Mate, Naifa Gerd, what a player we've got there, mate. That is serious centre half we've got there.
Yeah, he won't be at West Ham for long. He won't. You know, he won't. I said after the I think it was the Derby game, he'll be playing for Man City in 2-3 years.
He's got that. I know it's only early days, but I agree with you, mate. He's got that graceful elegance and pace. He's good on the ball. He's a leader. Good in the air. Yeah, like everything I've seen so far is amazing.
Like I say, great on the ball, comfortable bringing the ball out of defence. You know, he's quick. Yeah, to me, he's got Man City written all over him. He won't be at West Ham for long. You know,
you know what it reminds me of, actually? Again, and this is please, this people will bite me in the arse probably, but he reminds me a bit of Van Dijk a little bit. Not as obviously.
It's not as imposing.
Yeah, but there's a poor man's Van Dijk in there. You know, like that real presence, the ping.
I think the way that he plays, I think he's very sort of Van Dijk-y. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that.
No, he hasn't got a physical presence. Yeah,
but the way that he plays, no, I agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Whoever scouted him, just unbelievable. Loads of people are saying as well, mate. You know, Rice goes in the summer. You know, Gerd's not going to go this summer, but would you make him captain? Is there a call for that? Could you see him as next West Ham captain?
I mean, there's a shout for it. He's definitely a leader of that back line. You know, he's constantly talking. He's constantly organising the defence. So there's definitely a shout there. I mean, if Rice will go, I assume Cresswell will go. I don't know. Cresswell was out of contract, but did we extend him? We might have extended him.
Yeah, I think there will be a big clear out in the summer, and we'll talk about that later. But
at the moment, Cresswell's obviously vice captain. But assuming that Rice and Cresswell goes, I mean, who else are you looking at?
Yeah, exactly, mate. We've got actual leadership.
I mean, if Ogbonna goes as well, you know, I mean,
wait to see Ogbonna back as well. Just a little touch on him, mate. I know we've always been big fans of him. You know, he's all right in that centre. You know, where he's protected by the other centre backs next to him. You know, he's all right there. He can just sit there in the centre and, you know, just do the dirty work, can't he?
Absolutely. You know, he's a fantastic defender. We had him, I think, 2 years at least in a row?
Hammer of the
year. So, yeah, you know, absolutely love Oggy. Great to see him back. Great to see him playing well. Like you say, maybe in a 4 at the back, he's exposed a little bit. But in this back 3, back 5, 100%, he's comfortable there.
Yeah, no, mate, 100%. But yeah, good win. But sadly, mate, results didn't go the way, you know, we'd expected. Obviously, Everton beating Arsenal. Listen, I hate Arsenal, so I was a little bit like, I'm quite happy that result happened. Then I looked at it and it was like, oh, actually, this affects West Ham. And then you had Wolves tucking in Liverpool, just absolute freak results all over the place yesterday. I ask you the question, mate. Is there 3 teams worse than West Ham at the minute?
Again, we spoke about this a little bit yesterday. I don't think so. I mean, you mentioned Leeds. So Southampton, I think Southampton, Bournemouth and us. Yeah. You obviously mentioned Leeds are in that shout as well. They've got 2 games now. It'd be interesting to see where they go with them 2 games. I think
if they lose to Forest today, like I say, the game in hand, I believe, is Manchester United on Wednesday. So if they were to lose those 2 games, and then
they're right in it. Yeah.
Yeah, then you would say
Absolutely.
maybe. They're not great. They're not great, Leeds. They're not.
I would say at the moment it's of those 4. To be honest with you, Southampton, Bournemouth, us, Leeds. I think Everton will be all right. I think Dyche will get them out of it. I think Wolves will be fine because they can do what they did yesterday to teams. No, I still think we're banging trouble, mate. Again, it depends what happens in the next couple of games. We might go and beat Chelsea. We might get sacked from Tottenham.
The thing is, which would be quite sad, I think, mate. I think what might be quite sad is that if we were to get relegated, I think it will be that we don't get spanked, and it will just be at the moment we're a bit toothless. I don't see us getting spanked. I don't with that defence. And then it will just be if Skamaka comes back in time or Danny Ings comes back in time.
We've got. I'm sure we've got outside, we've got the 6th best defensive record in the league or something.
They said that
defense
last night.
Ain't the problem. It's not the problem. It's scoring goals, and like I say, that comes back to why I've still got concerns after yesterday. Is we scored from a corner, which has been rare this season. I think that's only the 2nd goal we've scored from a corner all season, and then we did nothing. We did not threaten their goal. At the moment we seem to be relying on Bowen pulling something out of the hat. But apart from that, we haven't really got anything going forward. Like I say, yesterday, we created nothing.
Do you see the stat we've faced? I think it was like 100 corners and we hadn't conceded because they put it up at 99 corners. I was thinking, here we go. The 100th corner is. Yeah. I think they actually nearly scored. I think Callum Wilson put it. Choppy guys, I've got no idea. Literally, it's plugged in. What's that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, mate, you're very choppy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I say, the internet's literally plugged in. Look, the cable's there. Right, let's go in the comments anyway. Morning, boys. Good result. Good performance all round. We need to take this mentality now. Need to wake up. We start bad every game. I agree. Great name. Jungle is massive. If there is such a thing as tackle of the season, I think that Gerd's won it. What do you think, mate?
Of course. That was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal tackle. It looked like, that had goal written all over it. That really did. That had goal written absolutely all over it. As soon as he was put through there,
I was even going. I was going, no, I'm switching off.
Yeah, as soon as he was put through, you're thinking that's a goal. But yeah, to recover and to get the ball so clean, yeah, fantastic.
Gents, I think with his pace, I would play Kerr at right wing back when he's fit. With Johnson, I suppose maybe at right wing back he might be a bit more assured there. But me and Paul will talk about transfers in a minute and what I think on that. Why do the commentators call him Pack Eater?
That's probably how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that's probably how you pronounce it, and we're just pronouncing it with our Cockney accents. Sufal putting a great shift. Gerd is different class. Let's hope Liverpool don't come in for him. Yeah, great. And someone else here says, make him captain. Here we go. Yeah. The attitude of the players is what has impressed me yesterday. Yeah, I think that's worth saying, mate. Like a few months ago, you think they don't care. But I have to say, a couple of cup games, the Everton game, that wasn't the greatest performance. There is a slight change in attitude. I thought we ran really well yesterday as well for a change. But we actually really pressed and worked hard. I
agree. I do. I agree. And like I say, that's the thing. I think we responded to going behind really, really well. And you have to say, as much as I'm not a fan of David Moyes at the minute, and I feel like we should have changed, you have to say that the players clearly haven't down tools. They're clearly still playing for the manager.
I agree, mate.
They are. So, he's obviously still got the backing of the players. Let's hope this is the turning point. Let's hope it is. I'm still have to be convinced, but let's hope it is.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I still have to be convinced as well. Pat Pong says, any updates on Areola hamstring? No, mate. The sad thing that because I really do like him as a goalie, and by all accounts he was looking for a move on loan away because obviously that French goalkeeper role is up for grabs. Areola retiring, and there's a few decent French goalies out there. Lafont, Manega, I think he is at AC Milan. Mygan, yep. So yeah, that place is up for grabs, and wait and see. Yeah, but apart from that, good result, and let's hope Chelsea are there for the taking next week. And let's talk about Chelsea game actually before we do the transfers. So the next few games coming up: Chelsea, Tottenham, Forest. Do you think it would just be a case of Chelsea click and it'll be just West Ham's luck?
That's exactly what I think.
Has the best game in the world. João Felix is back for that game as well to score his first goal.
That's exactly what I think.
Or however you pronounce his name.
He got pulled at half time, didn't he? Which is quite funny.
Reece James is back as well. Obviously, arguably one of their best players, Reece James.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen, mate.
I absolutely do. Enzo Fernandez looks a real player for them. He looks a real player already. Like you say, João Felix will be back. 100% he'll score.
100%. Put your money on it now, guys. Get good odds early.
Yeah. No, I do. I think they'll click and I think they'll beat us.
We are at home, though. We're at home. And
listen,
we did well away. We were robbed in that game.
They're not in good form at the minute. They're not, if anything, you have to say we are in decent form. I think we are, one loss in 5 is a point. Yeah, a point is a good result. I honestly, I expected nothing from these 3 games. Nothing. So we've already got a point. If we could get a win, if we could get 4 points out of these 3 games, for me, I'd say that's a fantastic return.
That's what I said. I said 4 points out of the 3 games, and Moyes probably has done enough to just sort of tick it over himself again. Like I said, if we did get a point the weekend against them, the Tottenham game is the Tottenham game. It goes either way, doesn't it? It's just one of them games. Again, they're not playing great either. They play in spells. They play like where they can have 35-minute spell where they just go boom, 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 boom. Then they go crap. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, but I just think Chelsea will just all click. It's just our luck that they click in that game. It really is. But yeah, they have got some fantastic players. Like I say, João Felix looked really good apart from when he got sent off that time. Yeah, and then Forest after that, Villa after that. A bit of, I hate to use it, Sam Allardyce, a bit of damage limitation maybe these couple of fixtures. Just keep the scores down because goal difference can be, as Gio says on Hammers Chat, an invisible point at the end of the season, which could be important. Is a good question. Not a question, but a statement we can talk about. I think Flynn Downs deserves some game time. Yeah, how good has he been, mate? Honestly, I don't know. Like, he brought him on 3 minutes yesterday. I understand why. We were in the game. It's not crucial, but this man's definitely got a role to play next season, whether we're in the Championship or the Prem. For me.
Well, there's the key, mate. Next season, I mean, if you look at the formation we played yesterday, and that's the way that Moyes wants to go going forward, he can't play because it's Paqueta and Rice.
Yeah, and you would be dropping Benrahma then. I'm going to.
Yeah. If we're playing 2 in the middle, it's Paqueta Rice. If he wants to be. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. How is he going to use Souček? How is he going to use Downs?
Well, Scamacca as well, mate. When Scamacca comes back, is he dropping Antonio?
Yeah, I think he will, yeah. I mean, Antonio didn't do anything yesterday. What did he do? He didn't do anything.
Ran about, kept falling over the ball and not getting the final pass right.
Yeah, Ings obviously is still there on the bench. So, I mean, when everyone's fit, there's options.
I thought Danny Ings got injured again straight away.
Yeah, I know. I did.
But down at one point, I was thinking, here we go. We go. I think there's a player in Ings as well. I think, he will do something.
Of course there is. I mean, Ings is a great player.
For his game.
Typical West Ham. As soon as he makes his debut, he gets injured.
Yeah. Let's talk about transfer window then, mate. Danny Ings is a good way to go into it. Obviously, the only player we brought in, like you said, mate, he is a good player. He's a goal scorer. And I think, he's one of them that is capable of going on that little run. What's there left? 17 games left. He is the sort that can go 6 goals in 17 games or 8 goals in 17 games or whatever it is. But in general, disappointed, no? I think there was a lot more we could have done. There's 2-3 players we should have maybe gone a little bit more.
Oh, of course. Absolutely, we should have done more. Absolutely, we should have done more. And it's the defence. Like I say, if Moyes wants to play this 3 or 5 at the back were wing backs. We haven't got a right wing back in the squad. We haven't. Maybe we had one in Ashby, but obviously Ashby went.
We did try apparently for Jed Spence. We did try for Wan-Bissaka, if you believe what you read.
Wan-Bissaka's not a wing back either. You know,
No,
if
he's
he
a
wants,
defensive-minded one, isn't he?
yeah,
Because he's never slagged off for his defending. It's what he offers attack-minded.
yeah. So that's what I don't understand. You know, if you want to play wing backs, you need wing backs. We've got Emerson on the left, and then that's kind of it. We've got nothing on the right when it comes to wing backs. We're in a situation now where we're playing three centre backs, and we've only got 2 fit. It's
unless
we
he
need
puts a kid in, he wouldn't.
Which
He's
he
not
won't.
going to put
You know, we let Dawson go. I know Dawson. 2 things. I know Dawson wanted to leave. He wanted to leave in the summer. Luis no, I don't think he will. I don't think we'll ever see him play for the first team.
No, I don't either. Maybe, yeah.
You know, we let Dawson go, but then we let him go to a relegation rival, which is weird.
Scored on his debut.
Scores on his debut, and you know, I understand. He wanted to leave for family reasons, all the rest of it. First of all, I wouldn't have sold him to a relegation rival. Second of all, if he goes, you have to replace him. Even if it's just that type of, you know, loads of talk about Michael Keane. Even if it's just that type of, just a body. Because now, like I say,
Nate Phillips at Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Now we're in a position where Kerr's potentially injured, and we've only got 2 fit centre backs. What happens if Ogbonna pulls up in training during the week? Then what? We've got then our 3 centre backs are going to be Aguerd, Johnson, and Cresswell.
And you know that's going to happen, mate. You know at some point that's going to happen.
Disaster, disaster. So I can't believe we didn't sign. I think that's really the only place where I would say we needed numbers was in defence. I think that's where we needed to do business.
Yeah, the right wing back and the centre back. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you could have maybe gone one more attacking player if you wanted to be a bit bold, but like you say, hopefully Skamaka's back. Ings obviously was back quicker than expected. Will we see Maxwell Cornet, mate? Will we ever see that guy again?
Apparently, Moyes was saying apparently he's not that far away. I think he's back in training.
It could be like a new signing. He could if he comes in. Pace, but does he play more than 2 or 3 games between now and the end of the season? I think that's the big issue, isn't it? But he did look good every time he's played. He's looked good.
Yeah, he's quick. He's direct. You know, he's decent.
Yeah. What about the outs, mate? Obviously, Ashby did go. Dawson did go. With Dawson, like you say, mate, you understand why. But I was a bit gutted. You know that. And what legacy does he leave? Dawson.
Probably the best value transfer we've ever made. I mean, Dawson was solid. He was really good. I don't think, he's not some West Ham legend or anything. He will be one of those players in a few years' time where someone will mention him and you'll go, oh yeah, I remember he played for us.
Yeah, decent. Yeah.
Yeah, he was decent.
So where do you put him? Because the comparison is always Ginger Pele. Where do you put him next to him?
I don't.
You don't know. But you see the similarities, though. Like
I understand.
Great in the out.
Yeah, I understand why people would say that, but he's not on that level for me.
No.
Don't get me wrong. He was brilliant for us. Like I say, probably the best value transfer we've ever made. I can't think of any more. Fantastic. No one expected anything when he came in, and he done really, really well. I don't even mind him leaving. I don't mind him going, but we needed to replace him. That's the biggest problem. Problem.
Yeah. No. Good player, like I say, good, decent.
Ashby, gutted to lose. Gutted.
Yeah, I think that's a real player we've lost there. Apparently, Newcastle put him on 45 grand a week, I read. So you can understand why he went. But yeah, not given a chance, mate. Longjello went as well. And I know you can sit there going, he ain't that great. But again, there's got to be some question marks about these youth players leaving. There really is. Like, they're not seeing a path into the first team. They're really not. It's not great, is it?
And when Ashby, whenever he played, I thought he looked a real player.
Looked ready, mate.
Many times. I said last season I rate him higher than Johnson. I do. And I gutted that he's going, that he didn't get more opportunities. Longello, when he played last season in cup games, I think he looked good. He's a little bit older though, so fair enough. I can
Yeah,
understand
I think
moving
the
him
next
on.
one
We've
we
got
might see go the same path, mate, is the other left back. Is it Scarles?
Skulls.
Or whatever his name is. Yeah, like he looks really good as well.
Yeah,
Again, we'd
but
probably
yeah,
be talking the same thing again, mate.
yeah, no, absolutely. Like you say, can we hold on to him? I don't know. There's something wrong, as you say, mate. We're losing a lot of our promising youth players.
Yeah,
And
and I think this says a lot, mate. Yesterday, you said it. The bench yesterday,
Mm,
2 youth goalies.
mm.
Really? Like I can understand one being there, but then why not put a youth kid on the bench? Why not? Was that young striker on the bench yesterday?
He wasn't, but he play in a cup game
He
the day
played it. Yeah, he
before.
did play the Friday night. Yeah, but you know what I mean? He's a young kid. He can
Mm,
play 10 minutes. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? They're
and there
young. They
must be, and
recover
like
quick.
you're right, and there must be others. Our youth team, I think, are flying, aren't they? So
Mm.
there must be others on the fringe. But yeah, absolutely. Why put 2 youth goalkeepers on the bench? Obviously, we needed one because Ariola's out.
Yeah,
But then why not use that other spot for one of the other kids? I don't know, mate. I don't know.
yeah.
I
You
don't
got
know.
Sonny Perkins who left for Leeds and is scoring goals for Leeds in the
Mm,
cup. Not yet played in the Premier, I don't think. But yeah, if I was, the director of football over there, like Mark Noble is, I would be asking questions like, "Come on, Dave, are you going to give these boys a chance to, get 5 minutes here or there, 10 minutes here or there?" No, it's not good.
mm. No.
Not good. Yeah, and it's same with Flynn Downs, though, isn't it? Same sort of thing. Declan's could play centre back. Flynn Downs can play centre mid if we had the defensive injuries. The problem with that, Pat, is you're sacrificing arguably one of the best CDMs in the world to play him at centre back, where to stay up, we need Declan Rice in his main position. No,
Mm. Yeah, no, I
I would
agree.
rather throw in is his name Mwamba or something like that. The centre back we've got Mwamba. Sure, it begins with M. Sure, we've got a centre back.
I don't know because we lost another. Didn't we lose another one? Was it Baptiste? Did he go as well?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'd rather put like a young boy in there with the protection of Oggy and a Gerd to guide him and talk him through the game. James from E20 Zone says, "Our Gerd's tackle is next level." It certainly was, mate. Also agrees that material. Matt says, "Sorry, he's late." Noble is back and he talks sense into the young lads and advice on their future hope. So, what last time we spoke, mate, I can't remember whether we mentioned it, the Mark Noble thing. What did you make of him? All them rumours coming out that he was basically ready to go, mate, ready to quit.
I mean, it depends on the reason, doesn't it? It depends on the reasons. There was a few things floated about. I think the two that the main one that I heard was that his role isn't as important as he thought it was. He's basically, a fancy club ambassador. And I think he thought he would have a bit more influence and a bit more control, than he actually does. And it's a weird one because I'm so pleased that Mark's back at the club. I really am.
I think fair play to him if he has stood up for it.
Yeah, it depends.
And, and they're back down.
Like it depends what happens. It depends what the reasons were. But Mark, he's not director of football. That's not his title. But what did he think he was going to be doing? What did he think he was going to be in charge of? What is his credentials?
There are rumours about he didn't want there's rumours that he didn't want Ings in. There was rumours that he was ready to quit because of Moyes.
Like if that's true, why would Mark Noble have any say over what players we bring into the club? That makes no sense to me. What's his credentials? He retired as a player last season. What's his credentials? He's not a director of football. Did he think he was going to be in charge of bringing in the next manager and bringing in players? Like what? That to me makes no sense. It's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Bringing him in to the club, I think, is fantastic. Having him as like a player liaison, someone that the players can go to and share their concerns with, and he can then take that to the manager and take that to the board. That I think should be his role. I don't think he should have any hands-on role of actually running the club. What's his credentials to do that?
Not yet.
Yeah,
It's
a weird one. It's very ill-defined. We don't know. I think that's the problem, and I think this was the problem. we don't know what his role actually is, and I don't think he knew either. Do you know what I mean?
No. Yeah, maybe he thought his role was a bit more important than it actually was, like you say, mate. Matt says, happy with the point yesterday. That's what I call fighting for a point. A good away day took me 7 hours to get back to Newham. You could have got
some
to
journey, mate. Yeah, some journey.
Could have got to Barbados for that. Do you think Souček could be used as a centre back?
No way.
Whenever he's on, I can't stand him anymore. I can't. He just gets the ball and it's just so stiff.
Again, it was only against Derby. It was only against League One opposition, but he had his best game of the season.
I agree, mate. Yeah, I agree with that.
But no, definitely not. No, I would not want Souček in a back three.
Matt says, thoughts on the way we conceded the Wilson goal. Well, it was like Moses, mate, just went, la, 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 just part the waves.
I mean, the kick from the goal kick was poor. Antonio was probably fouled, to be honest. He had hands all over him on his back, so he couldn't bring the ball down. Paqueta gave the ball away. And I see a lot of people slating the defenders and really laying into Kera. But for me, it was a fantastically timed pass. For me personally, you would have to hold your hands up and say, do you know what? It was a fantastic pass.
It was a good pass.
Wilson timed his run to perfection. Like, he timed that run perfect.
And he always scores against us, doesn't he?
Yeah, so, yes, it wasn't a great goal to concede. I think there was more a problem with Paqueta giving the ball away than there was with the actual defence, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would disagree with me.
Yeah. Next, mate, FA Cup. We drew Manchester United, obviously, after beating Derby. How many times do we play that team? Away as well. How many times? Any hope in that game at all? Not for me. I think the way they're playing at the minute is just ridiculous. But they do have, in between those games, 2 ties against Barcelona in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it depends what team they put out.
How ridiculous is that, though? In the Europa League, Manchester United versus Barcelona. You know what I mean? Like, it just shows how big that tournament's got now, doesn't it?
Well, it shows how much the likes of Man United and Barcelona have fallen off.
Like, Barcelona have just completely fallen off, haven't they? But yeah, that's my only hope.
That Barcelona are rebuilding. They're rebuilding, and they've got some real good youth players coming through. So I think Barcelona.
What do you make of with Barca? Just quickly off topic, there are rumours, Messi going down to the last sort of few months of his contract, debating over PSG and Barcelona. With Barcelona's rebuild, would you be signing Messi? I know how good he is. I know he's.
I think, and I'll tell you, that's the reason. I'll tell you, that's the reason. First of all, Messi's still, he's the best player of all time.
He proved he's still, got it. Yeah,
he's still one of the best players in the world. He scored an absolute wonder goal this weekend, yesterday. He can still do it. So, but I think the biggest thing is where Barcelona have got a lot of really good youth players coming through now. Imagine having Messi at the club to help bring them through. 100%. And I think it'd be fantastic for his legacy, for his career to finish at Barcelona. He spent his whole career there. I think he would.
I would like to see PSG win the Champions League this year. I would, because I think it'd be nice for Mbappe, Messi. I'm not so much a Neymar fan. I don't really like Neymar, but I think it'd be quite nice for them. Yeah. Sky Sports said West Ham have had. I said this earlier, Matt. You've just missed it. I had 99 corners against us and haven't conceded a goal. Good stats, but I want to see us start scoring from set pieces, which we did yesterday.
I saw a really funny comment, actually. Someone said that we've conceded loads of goals from corners, but they've been our own corners that we've been counting.
Yeah. Caught on the break. Craig Dawson, our Claret and Blue cult here, proper good goal last night. Yeah, he did score a really good goal, actually. Geordies kept saying how Longstaff is better than Rice. Stop it. That's always been the banter, though, isn't it? There's a famous goal that Rice scored against them all them years ago where he started shushing them. But looking good at the minute. Looking more positive. In terms of Rice, mate, just back to the transfer window a little bit. With Enzo Fernandez going to Chelsea for 107 million, David Moyes came out yesterday. I don't know whether you see his comments on Rice yesterday, where he was like, if Enzo Fernandez is 107 million, Declan Rice is, seasoned professional in the Premier League, starting the international team, 100 million is still the starting price for him.
How many World Cups has Declan Rice won?
Yeah, no. But he plays for England.
Yeah, listen, no. No, Rice at £100 million is gone. If we'd have sold him last summer, yeah, 100%. But we've lost the power now. We've lost that bargaining power. We'd be lucky to escape relegation this season. Rice is 100% going to want to leave at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, no, that's one thing that's against us, is he will definitely want to go.
Yeah, so we ain't getting £100 million for him unless Chelsea.
I do think we have some power. I think we have some power in it, because I do think there'll be a bidding war.
With who? Who's going to be in for him?
I think Arsenal will definitely be in for him. I think Manchester United could potentially go in for him as well. Chelsea probably not now with
Chelsea
Fernandes. Liverpool, if they didn't get Bellingham in, because is Bellingham going to go there if they're not a Champions League team? Man City always still talk about it, and with the Calvin Phillips being a big part of that deal as well.
I don't know. I think, again, it depends on if it was someone like Chelsea who had just been throwing mad numbers around, then yeah, I'd be saying, all right, £100 million. But if we stay up, I reckon 60 to 80.
No, I think you get 80. I think you get at least 80. I think at least 80. We have got to be stubborn, though. We've got to be stubborn. We have to have a bit of Brighton about us, like, this is the price, you pay it or not. Mate, if Casido is 70 million, you tell me Declan Rice ain't 80, 90 million?
Of course he is. But when have we ever got value for a player?
Yeah. Is it more that you don't trust the board?
Yeah. Exactly. If he was playing for Tottenham and Daniel Levy was selling him, he'd probably go for 150.
120 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, no, I don't know. I reckon 60 to 80 if we stay up. We'll see.
I hope not, because I think, if we got in, 80 to 100, we could really do a massive rebuild with the team, which it will need, because there will be a lot of players leaving. It's a really good question. Can you please educate me on how financial play works? Chelsea think it's FIFA 23 career mode.
Well, this is another reason what will affect the Rice fee. Is the reason that Chelsea are able to do this is because they're signing players on ridiculously long contracts. So
which that rule has been stopped from.
It has,
basically. Yeah.
It's been stopped from the summer, so they can sign Enzo Fernandez for £108 million or whatever it is
over 8 years.
They pay it out. It's 8.5 year contract. So on their books, that goes down as, like, I can't even do the maths in here. What's that? 15 million. But
someone did work out, mate. Someone did work out that even with that, you put in Mudryk or whatever his name is, Enzo Fernandez, a couple more around that same thing. It still works out that they're paying about £75 million a year out.
But that's how they do it. And then that means that if they sell a player, so who did they sell?
In Lukaku.
They sold someone for 40 million. Who did they sell?
I can't remember, but they did sell someone.
Remember. But basically,
Jorginho went for 12, didn't he?
But if they all they have to do is cover that in sales each year, and they don't even have to cover the whole thing. Like I say, if that's 70 million they need to cover that transfers, and they sell £40 million worth of players each season, and they've got so many youth players, they probably can do that.
Yeah,
they're all right in the books.
Yeah, there probably will be a bit of a fire sale there in the summer, like you say.
Yeah,
like Lukaku,
it's a joke.
Gallagher.
It's a joke that, I say it's a joke. Fair play, they were smart enough to work out
found a loophole in the system.
How to play the game. The joke is that when FIFA said, "Oh, hang on, we need to stop this. We'll stop it in the summer." Chelsea have then gone, right, okay, here we go.
Yeah, they've just got boom.
Here we go. We'll take advantage of it now before they stop it. So that could have a big impact. To be honest, that could have a big impact on Rice's value, because they're stopping it now to a maximum of 5 years.
5 years, which
is
20 million a year.
So
do the maths,
yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting.
Tetty from Leon on loan to Leicester looks good. He was quick, decent, and scored yesterday. Yeah, he did, mate. Obviously, we did try for Tarim Muffy and a few other players. Dan Juma scored on his debut as well for Tottenham. You know, another player that didn't want to play under Moyes by all accounts. There were some players out there. I think we get 50-50 for Declan Rice. Nothing more, in my opinion. We'll see. This will be the discussion all summer. Is Real Madrid interested in Rice? No, I reckon their eyes are on Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham will be the biggest mover this summer. Like, that will be the one that's like blows it out the water. Like I say, if Enzo Fernandez is 107 million, Jude Bellingham is 150 million. Like, starter price.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because of these fair play rules coming in, I don't know if we're going to see
bigger. I suppose it's a good thing and a bad thing, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, Bellingham will go for. He probably will go for over 100 million, but I don't think it's going to be huge leaps now. You know.
No. Great player, though. Top player. 100 million for Declan is a fair price for a young player who scores 25-yard goals, centre midfield, centre back, and future England captain. No, it is a good price, but like Paul said, there is a lot in play that could hold against us now. Pat, I agree with all that, but I doubt we'll get that price. But if we do get 100 million, what will the ball do with it? Probably put it in their back pocket.
Because hopefully they'll be gone. Hopefully, they'll be gone. Well, they can't put it in their pocket and sell the club. It don't work like that. But hopefully they'll be gone.
Yeah, we'll talk about the takeover, actually. It's worth having a little bit of a little convo about that. Arsenal will buy Casido for much cheaper. Probably will. Good player as well. Gonzo said that as good as Rice. Do you agree? I feel we may have a good point on what I see. Yeah, mate, I watched that video this morning, actually. Gonzo put out a really good video. Yeah, I've got to say, mate, there's all the potential for him to be as good as Rice, if not better. Yeah, we have actually got a world-class centre-back at the minute who's playing like a world-class centre-back at the minute. Would you trigger the 12-month extension for Rice to keep him for another season or going to some? I would if it means we get the right price. You know, just extend it for, you know, security basically, and then, you know, still sell him in the summer. What about you?
100%. I'd trigger it regardless. Yeah, of course you trigger it because then it helps get more value out of a transfer. But I don't think there's any chance of us keeping him for another season.
No, he doesn't stay. And this is even if we win the Conference League and, you know, qualify for Europa again. If we stayed up, if we put a bloody 18-win run together and finished in Europa League and the league, yeah, he doesn't stay. And he doesn't stay at all. Matty's Sonny will buy his two sons 50 million houses. Yeah, probably. Pat agreed. That's unfair. FIFA stopping other clubs doing the same thing as Chelsea, but they've already done the business. It's typical, mate. That's the way it always works. The whole reason why financial fair play came in was to keep the rich, because then, you know, it stops a club like Newcastle, like West Ham, if we do get taken over, from, you know, just going and blowing 700-800 million in two windows. It's all politics. Sorry, I completely didn't read your comment out there, Matt. Sorry. Reece Nelson from Arsenal, right wing, left wing, and has pace that we lack. 8 million. Yeah. Nothing gets that. I would have liked to have seen us get Ben Breton Diaz. I think he did leave, didn't he? Or did he sign?
He went to Spain, didn't he?
Oh yeah, yes, he did. He did go to Spain. If we get relegated, I don't think Sullivan's going until we get promoted again. Yep, that leads on nicely to a last little bit of the show here. Yeah, mate. Kretinsky is sort of more or less, by all accounts, said that, you know, he's not really interested in the full takeover. And obviously, if we go down, that buying price he's got doesn't change. You know, that is what he would have to pay for it. Do you think maybe
that's
though,
not necessarily,
when and if we're secured in maybe 6-8 weeks' time, that takeover will go through fairly quickly then?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. As long as we stay up, I mean, that's something that's going to be putting up again. If you go back 12 months, we were a fantastic prospect to take over. Now, it depends, doesn't it? If we stay up, then I think the takeover will go through. Who it will be, what will happen?
Rumours of Qatari. There is rumours of Qatari looking at us.
They were meeting with teams
by Manchester United. There's that one.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see, because Qatari's own most of the Olympic Park already. So that kind of makes sense.
That would be incredibly exciting if Qatari owners come in. And there are rumours that Qatari, they originally looked at a Man United, they looked at a Liverpool, and maybe even a Tottenham at the minute. But the rumour is that they've looked at a Saudi model at Newcastle and gone, well, actually, we can buy a club for probably half the price with a good fan base and we can just boost them up. So the Qataris, that rumour is still lingering around.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. It will. It'd be very interesting to see what happens. I do think that Sullivan, obviously now gold is gone, I do think that Sullivan will sell up in this summer. It'd be very interesting to see what happens. Kretinsky, if he doesn't want the club, I'm sure he'll make a nice little return on his investment. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think, hopefully we stay up. And there is potentially, hopefully, some exciting times. Just don't want American owners. Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Gallagher, any of those interest you? I like Gallagher. I think Hudson-Odoi, if you want to play, he can play right wing back as well. And Loftus-Cheek, injury prone, but he is a good player. Anything from you?
No. Yeah, I mean, good players. I don't know. We're so much up in the air and so much in flux at the moment. But yeah, I'd take them.
Yeah. Is there any point in Moyes buying an attacking player ever? Probably not, mate. Probably not. No. Imagine Sully sold us to Mike Ashley. Oh, Jesus Christ. Please, no. Wouldn't surprise me, no. Be like his parting gift. Uncle M, is there any point in Moyes buying defensive players, as we can see less than 10 minutes? Yeah, but we don't concede that many goals, though. Right, guys, that's it for West Ham. So me and Paul are going to do a little bit of GOAT of the week just to finish off for 5 minutes. And I thought, where Paul ain't done one for a while, I thought we'd do this, mate. GOAT of the week video game. So every week, guys, at the end of the show for 5 minutes, me and Paul just discuss our greatest memories of things we did. What did we do last week? I can't remember what we did last week. We did like films or something like. No, we ain't done films yet. I think we did a greatest Christmas song and things like that over Christmas. So this is a new feature. I'm going to flash a little picture up just to get our minds sparked. Some amazing characters there. Snake, Mario, Sonic, Crash, Link, and all people like that. Now, I know what you're going to say, mate. I already know what you're going to say. So don't start with that one. Let's do some honourable mentions first. So, what about the first video game you ever played? So
wow,
mine probably was Mario, on the proper old Nintendo. That one.
The first computer I had wasn't even a games console like a Nintendo or anything. It was an old Amstrad PC.
Oh yes, I had an Amstrad.
And I remember playing on that
game.
I remember playing. There was a Batman game I had on that I played.
Yes, I played that where you have to do the thing.
Yeah, there was a RoboCop game that
Turtles.
I had. Turtles, yep. Had Turtles on it.
That's a great game, that one.
Yeah, I used to love that. Turtles on the Amstrad. That's going back. Most, like, a load of people are probably thinking, what the hell is an Amstrad?
What game did you enjoy as a kid? Like I say, I already know your greatest game, so we don't even mention that yet. Like you say, maybe Turtles, like Streets of Rage, like games like that. Street Fighter.
Streets of Rage was brilliant. Street Fighter, love Street Fighter. When I got my first proper game console was a Super Nintendo, and Super Mario World. Absolutely loved that. That was Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart. Yeah. Brilliant.
And then like you say, mate, like you move through the years, your Tomb Raiders, your Grand Theft Auto. For me, if I'm talking one of my favourite games, it has to be, I don't know which one. 4, 5, 3 is always highly rated. Vice City, what a game, what a voice cast, just everything. The first time you ever played GTA, the first time they made it 3D, that first one was like, wow, what is this? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I tell you, as well, the started on PlayStation 1, the ISS, the International Superstar Soccer games.
Great game.
I did ISS Deluxe side on the Super Nintendo. Warriors was a brilliant game.
What a fantastic game that was, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we had so many good times, mate, playing pairs playing Pro Evo on the PlayStation
Medal of
2.
Honor, old
Medal
days
of Honor,
Medal of Honor, where we got so caught up in it we started running away from the screen.
Yeah. Some huge games.
What about console wise, mate? Like the old Game Boys and things like that, and I would say the older consoles, actually the games catalogue were probably a little bit more better than like PS5. Has there really been a big one like since PS5's been out? Has there been one that's really like, I have to have that game? Where back in the day, I think it was a bit more. There is games you can go, I have to have that game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I'm a huge game collector. I've got every console you can think of going back decades.
That would be a good channel for you to do, mate.
It would, yeah. Christ knows how I would even start.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the old consoles, the old handhelds. I don't know. I love it. I love it. I'm a big gamer. I love it.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So go on, then, mate. Your best game. I know what it is.
My best game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. Again, PlayStation 1. Still remember the day I got that on Christmas. Yeah, and I've played it many, many, many times since. The remake on PlayStation 5, fantastic. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII for me is best game of all time. Mass Effect 2 is close second. Yeah. But they're my two. What about you?
FIFA 23. I have to have graphics, not FIFA. Even though that's the game I probably put the most sweat and tears into. I do love the Grand Theft Autos. I think Grand Theft Auto, when a Grand Theft Auto comes out, they're a moment in time. Like we're all waiting for GTA 6, aren't we? We're all sitting there going, when is this coming out? When is this game coming out? Because that is, all of a sudden I'm sick and I need to be off work for a week. They are moments in time, no? When a GTA
comes out. Definitely. They're events, huge events. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one because GTA 5's been, 10 years old now?
I think it might be 13 years old, mate. I think it's ridiculous. I've always loved sport games, FIFAs, the boxings. They're not the greatest games of all time by any stretch of imagination. Red Dead Redemption's are fantastic games. Really, really enjoy them. I'm trying to think really. Something like there's a game called Shadows of Memories back in the day, PS2. That's one of the best games I've ever played. But again, like I say, it's all. Like I don't like them sort of games like Final Fantasy, mate. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. Like I've never been into RPG sort of games. I love racing games as well. Racing games. What's the greatest racing game of all time?
That's a Spectrum 128. I never had a Spectrum, but my next door neighbour had one, and a couple of my mates had one. The cassette ones. You remember them?
Yeah, cassette.
You had to play the cassettes. Mad.
I'll tell you a great internet game, mate. Roberto Baggio free kicks. Do you remember that one?
No, I really like. If we're talking football games, there was some mad football games.
Three Lions was a classic.
Three Lions, yeah, that was a good game. And then I remember a game called Libero Grande, where you only played as one player. So like you played as like the striker or the number 10, and you were just controlling the one player, and the rest of the game happened around you. That was quite a mad
nights
game
as well. I used to love the old fight nights, and hopefully Undisputed comes out soon. What about the wrestling games as well?
Wrestling games were brilliant. I loved the PlayStation 1 SmackDown games.
Yeah,
where you could go backstage and talk to like the Dudley Boys and stuff.
Well, I'm going to go for these comments and then wrap it up, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I say, me and Paul always go off topic at the end. Football year. He says Atari.
At the Atari era, I had an Atari 2600. I had Ghostbusters on that. It was crap.
Oh, that Ghostbusters game that came out actually a few years ago. That was a really good game. I've got one. Die Hard. The Die Hard trilogy.
The Die Hard trilogy, yeah.
What a game that was. Time Crisis. You know the old shooter games where you used to I used to love it when you had a gun, like Duck Hunt and things like that. Like classic games. That's a baby's toy. No, what's that? Wild Gunman. Gunman. Back to the Future. I got Warriors on PS4 and 5. I still remember all the cheats and can complete the game in under 11 hours. Well, Apocalypse PS1. Bruce Willis was the main character, I think.
Hold on, you skipped one there, mate. Dizzy. Fantastic.
I don't know what that is. I didn't know what that meant. That's why I skipped it.
Oh, we'll keep clicking.
I'll put it up there.
Yeah. Fantastic Dizzy, man. I love that game. Do you know what else I really liked as well? It was similar sort of time, Wonder Boy. The Wonder Boy games.
What's the hardest game you've ever played? I already know mine. I can say it straight away.
Go on.
Alex Kidd. With the little bike, and you only get 3 lives, and then you die.
I don't know. The hardest game I've ever played. I don't know.
The older games are harder. I downloaded recently for my daughter the Disney Aladdin and the Disney Lion King games, mate. They're ridiculously hard.
Yeah, I remember playing Aladdin was difficult. I remember getting past the magic carpet level where you get
the Cave of Wonders. Yeah,
I can't remember anything past that. Like the Lion King game was really hard as well.
Yeah, some of the jumps. This is a great, fantastic game. GoldenEye, one of the greatest games of all time. It was.
I remember.
Brilliant.
And I don't know where everyone in the comments is from, but there used to be a shop in Canning Town on the Barking Road called Light and Sound. I'd be mad if anyone in the comments actually remembers that place.
Yeah, it's now a bar, I believe.
We used to go at lunchtime because we went Cumberland. So at lunchtime, I don't know if you did.
Was it not Jungle Cave?
No, so Jungle Cave used to be opposite, next to Ocean Blue.
Yeah,
it was the arcade, but no, there was a shop. It was a shop called Light and Sound down the road, and we used to go there. And the guy had a Nintendo 64 set up and a PlayStation set up behind the counter, and he used to let us pay 50p each to play GoldenEye. So 4 of us used to go down there and pay 50p and play GoldenEye at lunchtime. It's class.
Good times, mate. GTA 5 is crap due to how unrealistic it is. It's a great game, GTA 5. Emily Hughes, International Soccer. Wow.
I tell you what, do you remember Ali McCoist, Director of Football?
Yes, I do. I did used to play that as well. Football Manager as well, arguably one of the greatest games ever designed. A bloody, what is it, a database that's become one of the biggest games that's ever been made. Dragon Ball Z was the main anime franchise growing up. We'll do that next week. Remind me, greatest cartoon ever made. We'll do that next week. I stopped WWE in 2009. Sonic first one on the Sega Mega Drive. You got Sonic and Knuckles that allowed you to play Sonic as Knuckles. Yeah, good games. Do you remember the Dreamcast? I do. I think Paul actually owns one, I believe.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Paul does have some really special stuff in his collection. Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain on PS2. Yeah, that's the famous.
That's the Brock Lesnar
one. Yeah.
Are you over 25 or under 25?
Yes, I'm 25 years old. Matt Rainey's Crazy Taxi, good game. Supercars 2, Sega Mega, Altered Beast. Yeah, me and Paul quote that all the time. Rise from your graves. Golden Axe, that's another great one. Tarzan on the PS1. I can't say I played that one, mate. Matt Rainey says I'm off. And cheers,
Matt.
Lads. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's a little bit of fun to end the week. We play Chelsea next week. Hopefully, me and Paul will be back on Sunday. And Sam, we've got a positive result from that one. And tell you what, if we do get a positive result, I'll have a lot more faith that we can start this season. And hopefully, that's all we can hope for. The draw, I think, is very, very soon for the Conference League as well. So we'll get to find out who we've got in that.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, very much so. Until next time, guys, thank you for staying loyal to the channel. Hit that like button before you leave. Tell your friends about us. Come on, your wines. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.